What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back to another unboxing showcase review. I am very surprised I was able to get this probably within the time frame that they said so, but we do have the Mezco 112 series. This is the Gangreene Estates Theodore Sodcutter. This is a Mezco exclusive, so this is like my Halloween gift to myself when I ordered it. I think I ordered it back during, like, right before Halloween when they first posted it, and I was extremely excited when I first saw this figure. I don't have really any like Halloween type characters. I don't have any horror figures in my collection, but this one took the cake. This is one that I was gladly happy to pay for. I was very excited to see this figure. So this, I believe, is kind of like their Rumble Society type of characters, or like field of characters. So it's still really cool for me to see something like this. And again, Halloween, I was extremely excited for it. There were other things that came in the box. This is the magazine or comic that you can read up on the storyline of Theodore Sodcutter. So this was in there. Plus there's, you know, a couple of cool things right there. And it did come with this envelope, which I have no idea what this is, but let's kind of find out what is in here. Surprise to me. But let's see. It's kind of like a little Christmas gift, I guess you could say. But look at that. Oh, a Stinkle pin. That's really cool. And a Mezits. I wonder what color we're going to get in out of here for our Mezits. And a couple stickers. Look at that. We got a Rumble Society sticker of the Pink Skull Gang. Look at that. Really, really nice. Okay, cool. So we got some stickers. We got a Mezits. Let's take a look at this Mezits, just to get this out of the way, find out what color we got. So wasn't expecting that, but let's see. Oh, would you look at that? Look at this. Look at this skull Mezits with a mask that you can put on him. And he's got a little mini chainsaw right there. That's wild. That's really cool. That's a different Mezit than I thought would be in this here. I was expecting just a regular, like, colored Mezits. Man, this thing is so tiny. I'm going to try to snap this in here. But yeah, Mezits are always cool to have. Tiny little figures you can have in your collection for Mezco. Look at that. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Let's take a look at this. You guys have been seeing this box rotate. Let's see here. Let's open it up. As you can see, normally you guys should know, you guys will take a look and see how everything is packaged inside the box. So let's take a look. We got a lot more artwork on the box as well. We have our paperwork. Looks like some instructions to show you where you can, you know, put stuff. So, oh, look at that, elbow articulation too, and change out the heads and the battery, of course. And of course, our care guidelines that you normally get out of Mezco figures. Let's move this out of the way. And inside the box, looks like normally you would have the figure right on the top, like so. And let's see, we've got the other tray. Got this other tray of accessories as well. And underneath this, we have our stands. Look at that. And a couple accessories and batteries. So let's go at it one by one, see what we got going on in the box. More artwork of Theodore Sodcutter. So let's take this out of the way and see everything. This fell out. We'll see here. Let's take a look. Man, there's always going to be a lot of accessories here, but there's a lot going on. So let's start with this one. Let me lower this down. Hopefully we can get a better look and seeing what we got going on here. We'll take out this plastic, and hopefully without anything falling down, let's take a look. Oh, you know what? Let me go top down. I hadn't done this in a while, but let's take a look. I mean, we got quite a bit going on. As you can see here, we have all these multiple heads, and then we'll kind of unwrap all this stuff. But we have Theodore right here in the center, some extra hands. We do have here this rope and the second tray of all of the accessories. accessories look really good. The accessories are really what sells them for me. You always get a ton of really cool accessories from Mezco. And they do accessories justice for the character that you're getting. Look at that, more hands right here. Look at all this. It's beautiful. And of course, we have Tombstone, our accessory bag, batteries, and our flight stand and stand itself. So not too bad. Let me just kind of unpackage all this stuff and kind of lay it out on the table so we can see what we got going on. All right, guys, this is definitely a lot of stuff. I mean, take a look at what we have here. Quite a bit. We'll go over everything so we can see, but this is everything out of the box. It's a lot. Look at this, so many heads, so many pairs of hands. Beautiful. Really, really nice. So let's go over and check all of these out. All right, guys, let's start with the head options, because there is some crazy stuff that I realized, because in the instructions here, there is a battery function, which is great. We have some light up eyes and going on, but you can take a look and see there is a piece that you got to take out in order for that to install the batteries, which comes with 4 batteries. I don't know if you have to use all 4 yet, but we will take a look and see. But here we go. I think it's really just a simple removal. Look at that. And got a scarf. Look at scarf. All right, so let me kind of lay him down or stand him up somewhere where he's out of the way. Yep, there you go. And then the head. So yeah, see, this is what I wasn't expecting. Look at that. So the neck joint is attached to, I guess, the battery mechanism, where we're gonna have to just, yep, there we go. So it's a more cavernous in the head. All the heads seem like they're all the same way. And there is a switch here to turn it on. So it uses 2 batteries at the time. So we have 2 extra batteries going on. Now these batteries are extremely small, especially for me. I'm going to assume it's from the top down, and we'll just slide this in for each one. So it's simple enough, but they're extremely tiny. And then I guess with the switch, I don't know. Does it tell me how I have to insert the batteries? Nope. I guess that's it. Well, let's try it out. I mean, one of these has the lights. Do they all have? Oh, they all have. All of his eyes glow because they all have that spot where their eyes are. So I guess we could try it, but I don't know if I've put in the batteries the correct way. So even if I were to install it in, I didn't see any light up. That's the crazy part. I didn't see it light up. All right, let me test it out. All right, I just moved it just a little bit and it turned on. So there you go. There's the light. So for every head, I guess when you turn it on, there you go. We have these glowing lights. So every time you want to change out your head sculpt, you just pull this piece out and you got some glowing lights. So let's take a look at every head, see how they all look. So there's the first head sculpt. Here's the second. This is more of like a stoic head sculpt face, and that's not bad, really cool. Here is a grinning head sculpt with that smile going on. Now this head sculpt is more of just a decaying head sculpt, which is wild. You got an eye coming out of his head right there. All of his skin is just melted off. That is so crazy. But for underneath here, you don't see the exposure for where a light can seep through. So this is just a basic head sculpt right there. Here is a screaming head sculpt with his eyes bugging out. That is nuts. And his teeth. His teeth are bugging out too. The sculpt is amazing. Look at the tongue. Everything is great on that. And of course the light up right like so. And here, look at this. We have another screaming head sculpt. More where the jaw completely drops down. Teeth still sticking out. Tongue is out. Eyes bugging out. That is so crazy. Painted very, very nicely. That is wild. Looks. And I turned the light off so you could see. And then just flip that switch again. And there with his lights, with the light up eyes again. Look at that. Back with the first head sculpt. Here's the problem. This can be very cumbersome taking in and out. And the worst part is some of the heads might be a little bit warped where it's too tight for it to insert. So you're going to have to maybe heat it up or kind of squeeze it around to insert this piece into the cavern part of the head. So that might be the more troublesome. It's a great, I still think it's still a good idea for the way they used it, so that way all the lights, all the heads can light up. It's a great idea for them to do so. So that way they don't have an individual mechanism or electronic for each individual head. So doing this is actually pretty smart. I actually like this idea. It's really good. But there can be some cumbersome parts where, or not parts, but areas where you're going to have to try to just kind of squeeze it in properly so that way it stays on and stays in there. That's the only issue with it, but I still like it. It's still a great idea to have multiple heads doing a light up, and this is how you do the light up feature. So still, I like it. Still very good. All right, moving on to other accessories. We have multiple hands, and the first set of hands he comes as already right on the figure are these fisted hands. And then we have his gripping hands, these C-grip type hands. It's got very long fingers, so you're gonna have to you're gonna have to move them around a bit just to kind of insert the shovels that he's got going on, or any of the other items that he's got going. Now he also has these open hands, kind of like, I mean, you can see here he's got some fingers sprawled out. Same thing on this side where he's got some fingers sprawled out. I guess you could use this mainly for maybe like a suitcase or whatnot, but we will try those out. But this another set of hands that, you know, can definitely have some expression on it. And then we have basically these relaxed hands, just completely open palmed hands like so. How about these for some open hands? Like, look at that, those long fingers just kind of sprawled out like so. Now these hands, look at these hands, right? Kind of like your teacup holding hands. These can open, so they're not together right there where they're pinching like so. But I mean, you can see these are nice. These are nice little like A-okay type of things. And then the last set of hands, we got a pointing finger hand on the right, and then on the left, kind of like, it's almost like a gripping hand. No, because there's no, so I can't say that because there's no channel in between the last three fingers. So in the index finger and the thumb, almost, I guess, I don't know what you would use this for, but you could see what I mean with the expression on the fingers. All right, so we have a pickaxe here. Look at the handle. Look at that. It's so warped. Crazy looking. The detail in the paint is very well done. Sculpt too. This pickaxe has seen a lot going on. That is crazy. Very, very nice. And of course you would just use, I guess, this typical hand. You can just insert like so. That's your gripping hand. Here is the shovel. Shovel's got quite a bit of paint on it. Look at the, oh, look at that. It's so mangled, right? There's even a wrap around the handle here. Very nice, very nice. Now, with this, now I'm sure you could use this gripping hand if you wanted to just insert like so, if you wanted to do that for that to hold. Or, I mean, once again, you got this gripping hand. Yeah, I mean, you got two. I mean, the thumb completely overlaps the fingers, right? So you're going to have to try to maneuver this, bend the thumb out of the way. You can grab the whole thing like that. And we have a severed head. It's all green. It's basically deteriorated. We got, or I don't know, it's got green flesh underneath there. This was a separate piece in a way with the hair. This is just a hair piece, so you can kind of, maybe he can grip onto it. I would assume one of these hands would be the one to grip onto it. I guess if we just do this, let's just see. If we just did this into the gripping hand. There you go. See, I had that. So that's going to hold. And then just channel that in. Back into the head. And look at that. Holds in place. We have 3 different types of hats. We got this hat. I apologize. I don't know the names of these hats. But I think they can fit on every head. Not tight. Seems pretty loose. But I guess it depends on maybe which head it can go on. Oh, that's tight. That's more of a tighter fit. Here's the second second hat. This is the second hat. Same idea. I mean, you could see where the front would probably fit on. And we could just try them on. Some of them are just resting on there, unfortunately. We have to just, I guess, see. This head seems like it fits on and stays on. It's got that nice fit on there. Even if I did the screaming head, yeah, you would have to really like push and squeeze on there to get the hat to stay on. This one, little bit. It felt a little bit loose on there. The third hat, it's much squished down from the second one. And of course, same idea. I mean, you can basically have them. So many different options. It's lovely to have different options. We have a suitcase. The suitcase, it does open, and I think this here, yep, there's your clasp right here. And then you open like so. Doesn't open all the way because that's where it stops right there. And this is basically the head storage where you can insert this inside and place that on there. How do I know this? Because it's in the instructions. Look at that. And then of course we can close it, put that clasp back on, and now you have this bag here. Now for the handle, you could use the gripping hand like we did earlier with all the shovels and the weapons. There you go. You could do it like that. I feel as if you could use some of the other hands too. Like here's a more relaxed hand. That's in like a gripping stage. And you can slide that in like so. Here we have the tombstone for Theodore Sodcutter. Rest in this spot, dug his last grave, and laid down to rot. It's very nicely sculpted. It's a hard plastic. So, and then of course, with all the paint and the sculpt, it looks really, really nice. On the back, Miss Sodcutter is as well in the ground, except for her head, which Theodore carries around. Oh, well, now we know who that head belongs to. My goodness, Miss Sodcutter. So unfortunate. Now this rope, it's basically like a twine. I didn't take it out of the bag because I didn't want to mess around with it too much for this. But here is what it's for. Tombstone and rope. You can actually tie it around the back of Theodore and just wrap it around. I mean, that you could do that. I may do that as just, as for display options, because unfortunately with the tombstone, there's no thicker base for it, so it can stand, but it's not good. It'll fall down easily without more of like a wider base to it. So it's still cool. It's a very nice accessory to have, but nothing for it to stand on its own. It seems like it's supposed to be what you would need to do for the back of the figure. Now, here is the last accessory. This is a lantern, which does have a compartment at the bottom. So where I thought we had extra batteries, we're going to insert these batteries because this is a light up feature. So let's see. Let me insert those batteries in there. Oh, there's a plus and a minus side. So that actually helps me out a lot. All right, so I was able to insert the two batteries. It actually took me a couple minutes because I dropped the battery in the carpet. Oh my God, what a worst feeling. I dropped the battery in the carpet, so I had to go and find it. So we'll put, oh, I'm sorry. The switch is right inside here. So once we turn on the switch, look at that. We got a light. It's like we got some crack in the glass right there. More cracks in the glass. That is nice. Look at that. That's awesome. Really, really cool. And of course, the last thing really is the stands. So we just basically have a base and a flight stand piece. So if you want to hold them up properly, you can. It can be very, very useful. I love Mezco stands. They're very nice. And of course, an accessory bag if you do not keep your boxes. I keep my boxes, so I never use that bag unless I'm going to be carrying around somewhere. But for the time being, let's take a look at Theodore himself. All right, so there's going to be a lot to talk about. Hopefully I can do it in a shorter period of time. But with Theodore Sodcutter, I mean, we saw a lot of the paint and sculpt throughout the heads and the hands. Everything else now is really all soft goods, and the soft goods are very nicely done. This is a great use of this character. I love this whole jacket. There is a wire all throughout, so you can actually pose it around as you see fit. We have this huge flap with this huge hunchback he has going on, and this jacket and the green color, awesome, great touch, very, very nice. There is this scarf that came with him, which you can unravel if you want to, so you can really lay it out there. He's got this vest underneath. You know, let's take this off first so you could see more. So here we have this vest for underneath, and it's a collared vest too. This is velcroed on with some, you can see some of these buttons. So underneath here, you can see it is a sleeveless vest. Unfortunately, there is some bleed of the fabric onto this cream white shirt underneath. And if we remove the Velcro here, it's dirtied up. We got this collared shirt going on. It's got this this tie of some sort. And of course we have this, I think this is just sewn in. Yeah, it's just probably just overlaid here. And of course we have his pants right there. This is a very, very unusual body. I don't even know what kind of articulation I'm going to get out of this thing. But it's so well done. This tailored nicely. You can probably remove the jacket. Yeah, you could definitely do that. So you could see how it could definitely look like. Unfortunately, there's a lot of stains of green from onto the sleeves right there. You could see that going on. But let's keep his jacket on for the time being, so we can mess around with his articulation. We do have some dirtiness in his pants. You could see that like so. Still really cool. And of course, look at his shoes. So he's got this permanent curvature on his left foot. This one's not so bad. It's still flat. He isn't difficult to stand, but you know, it's still, you know, a design choice that they made. It doesn't really hinder him from standing, but sometimes you might have a certain issue where it doesn't properly stand up. He's a very thin figure, very, very thin figure. You can see that. And of course, let's see. Yeah, so he's got this dead-like skin right where his ankles are. I don't know how far it goes up, even in his arms. Look at that. Look at that. So let's put his head back on and we'll mess with some articulation. So with articulation, let's start this off. I mean, first of all, the neck. The neck is movable. You can maneuver it around a bit, but I can't really tell what kind of body this is because it's got this huge hunchback right back there. So with the head inserted, granted, with the scarf, there was a lot of hindrance on there. You couldn't move his head around. So when you take his scarf off, then we can move his head like so. So you can kind of move his head just slightly enough where it's just going to pop off. Because remember, we have that type of technology going on right there. So just be sure where his head placement's going to be. So that's how far he's going to look up. You can look down completely all the way based on his hunchback nature. You can shift his head a little bit side to side, and of course you can turn it all over the place. The neck can move with it, but it's very, very minimal. I can't really go any further than what I'm already showing you right now. His arms are extremely long. From what I could tell, there is this, it's like right here, right where it's inserted. Now remember, because we got clothes on, there's going to be some hindrance. I'm going to try to maneuver his arms to see how far I can go wide. And there's not much at all in fearing of where it is placed because I can't see it. His actual arm, because his elbow's right up here. So it's gonna bend like so. And it's only a single joint. It is a single jointed arm. So that's as far as it's gonna go. So he's got these incredibly long arms, but based upon where that shoulder joint is, it's you gotta play around with it and kind of find it so you can see where you can maneuver it around. But that is your articulation for his arms. He's got a diaphragm joint. He definitely has a diaphragm joint that you can maneuver, shift around a bit, and he's got a waist, a ball waist, which ball waist, I love ball waist, so you can maneuver that around as well. Yep, so he's got an upper thigh cut. He has the double jointed knee, as you can see, like so. And of course, with his foot, he's got a little bit of up, little bit of back, and he's got the pivot as well. So not too bad. Articulation seems like it can be very limited, especially the arms. I mean, but look at the type of character he is, right? He is a hunchback. He's not going to go and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But look at that. Look at that frame, right? That is awesome. Now let's do some comparisons. Let's get Gomez, one of my many Gomez figures right here. You can see that Sodcutter is definitely a bit taller, but I mean, because of his hunchback, you could see like his head practically aligns up with Gomez's head, just slightly. Yes, he definitely is taller, but with a Gomez figure, you could see there is definitely some height to him. And I got hoods here. Might as well take a look at one of the smaller characters in the Mezco line. You could definitely see he's much shorter. And we got ourselves our Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And we have him next to a Mythic Legions Legion Builder Templar Knight. And how about a Marvel Legends Hellfire Goon? And we got a larger figure in the G.I. Joe Classified series. We got Sergeant Slaughter. Alright guys, there you have it. There is my unboxing showcase review of Theodore Sodcutter, one of Mezco's new characters for their Rumble Society or their Gangreene Estates lineup. Really, really cool figure. There are some some goods and some bads. A lot of goods will outweigh the bads though. I mean, it's really, really awesome for this type of character. It is unbelievable. The sculpt is amazing. Look at all the different heads and hands that you get out of this character. And of considering the fact that you got these light up features, I mean, look at the lantern, look at his eyes. We can have multiple heads that light up in different ways using that new like light up technology that they're using for the neck joint. It's still really, really cool. The clothing is absolutely amazing. It looks very, very well done. Articulation is a little bit hindering based upon, I guess, the type of character he is, because of that hunchback nature, and the clothing can really be restricting on where the shoulders are. That's my only issue that I currently have with that. But everything else, so cool to have a figure like this in my collection. Absolutely love it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys take a look and see what this character is all about. I wonder if you guys got it as well. So let me know in the comments if you did. But make sure you guys hit that like, comment, subscribe. We're almost hitting that 4,000 subscriber mark. Would love to hit that before the end of the year. But I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, hope to see you soon. And I hope to see you on the next hunt.